we've come a long way, and it's just the beginning. To symbolize the journey that we're on, and to symbolize the trip we're going to be taking as a group, as a team in October, I want to show you guys the picture we've designed for this event. So, the grand revealing. The Scheduling Institute helped me change my practice from dying to thriving. I never could have imagined the life that I'm living today. Growing up in Cranston, Rhode Island, going to college nearby, and spending 8 years utilizing my business marketing degree in the corporate world is a far cry from where I am now. That kid in Cranston would probably laugh if he could see himself as a dentist with his own practice in Massachusetts. I have the house of my dreams, and I share it with my loving wife and 3 amazing kids. But things weren't always this way. Let's take it back to the beginning. In 2007, I had just purchased the home that my wife and I would raise our family in. And unfortunately, the dentist I work for close to home saw a downturn in his business and reduced my days. I found myself desperate to find another job. It was during these times I noticed an increased strain in my voice. I started to feel self-conscious about the quality of my voice when speaking to my patients. I was not expecting to hear the diagnosis of spasmodic dysphonia, a non-curable voice disorder. So, the devastating part about it was to think that I would never be able to sound normal and have a normal way of life. I decided that it was time to have my own practice, and in 2010 I found a practice for sale, but I looked the other way on 2 major red flags. The current dentist would not allow me to meet the staff prior to purchasing the practice, and there were less than 5 new patients per month coming into the practice. Thinking this was still my best option, I went ahead with the purchase anyway, and little did I know, my vocal challenges were just the beginning of my worries. But it did not take long for me to realize what I got myself into. By 2012, revenue started dropping, and on top of losing numbers, the office staff was unresponsive. A majority of the existing staff had been with the previous dentist for over 25 years. And to them, I was the big bad wolf storming in to tear their house apart. I felt like I lost all control.
It was very negative. Lunchtime was a griping session. Everything was negative. I mean, the atmosphere in the office, it was just really unfortunate that that's what it was. I mean, it was very uncomfortable.
When you own your own practice and it's sinking into the abyss, it's bound to spill over into your home life.
Life at home when the practice wasn't doing so great was pretty tense. Didn't know if we could pay the bills. Go to the grocery store hoping that my credit card would go through. It was hard to watch Jim trying to go to work, and he didn't really want to go, not knowing if we were going to have our house still.
My entire family was affected, as I couldn't even enjoy my kids' first trip to Disney World. I was restless from all the stress, and the worry preoccupied my mind more than anything. This was the first time my kids were seeing the happiest place on earth, but nothing about me was happy at that time. The business seemed doomed, and there were times when I couldn't even afford to pay myself after barely scraping by to get the staff their paychecks. No matter what I did, everything seemed to blow up in my face. I couldn't wrap my head around the financial mess that I was in, but there was something inside of me that wouldn't allow me to give up yet.
Dr. Dores needed someone to believe in him, and no one else wanted to stay on board with Dr. Dores, and he had a vision. And I believed in his vision, so I thought, you know, if everyone else was going to get off the ship, someone had to stay on the ship.
I received a postcard from the Scheduling Institute I was curious to see how my staff did on the 5-star challenge. The alarming results of the initial phone call test were enough to propel me to take the chance with the Scheduling Institute. I quickly realized the program is focused on inspiring doctors to become entrepreneurs and leaders in their own businesses. I could not have been more excited. There was a great deal of resistance from a lot of the staff immediately after the initial on-site training. I was threatened and blackmailed by a longtime staff member. She became irate while patients were present, and I had to call the cops to have her removed from the property.
He didn't want to get rid of them because he was afraid patients would leave too. And he would lose everything.
I tried to inspire them with incentives, investing in their training. None of that worked, and I had to make the very difficult decision of letting them go. I was not going to back down. I assembled a new team through Jay's group hiring process. I saw progress and growth in the business and was able to invest even more into the practice. I upgraded the equipment that we used, everything from computers to microscopes. I wanted to be able to serve my patients in the best way possible, and that needed to include using the best technology. The Scheduling Institute helped guide me with implementing a thorough marketing plan. I finally felt like I was no longer just a dentist, but I was also a brand. The business was flourishing. In a little over a year in the 5X program, our monthly revenues doubled. I could finally give back to the community and got involved with dentistry from the heart. Being able to give back was the best payoff possible. All of the growth and success really changed the way I looked at all of my hardships. I knew that I couldn't control the diagnosis of my vocal condition, but I wasn't willing to accept that it was at its best. I know nothing can control me or hold me back. Thanks to Jay's inspiration, I now have confidence in myself to lead my team with my vision for the practice as my compass. All of these changes have not only improved the practice, but my entire life, and I'm just getting started. The Scheduling Institute has taught me to stop looking at obstacles and start looking at opportunities. My team and I would not be where we are today without Jay's inspiration and the incredible 5X program. Not only has my business turned around, but I am a better and more confident person altogether. My family is strong and supportive, and I want to give back to them for being with me during this ride. So what's next for the Dores family? We're going back to Disney World, and this time I'm going to enjoy every ride, every character, and every moment with my family. So, the grand revealing.
Exciting.
The Scheduling Institute has empowered me to be able to create both short-term and long-term plans for my practice. I will give back to my team, purchase a new office on a highly marketable road, triple my number of operating rooms, hire 3 additional associate doctors. I will pay off my debt and unleash the golden handcuffs.